Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Battle Inside podcast. I am your host, Chris America, and this is the podcast that is documenting, journaling, journeying with me in my quest to get better with my mental health. And it's been 2 weeks now since I started the show. This is the 4th episode, and still getting a lot of great responses, getting a lot of listens, and it's encouraging and it's uplifting. And so I'm here doing it again to continue it. I've thought about quitting this thing multiple times over the last 2 weeks. One, because I don't want to continue. It's really, really hard to put yourself out there like I have. And you start getting so many doubts and you start feeling so naked, so vulnerable, all that other good stuff to other people, and it sucks. It really does. But then people come to me and they say, Chris, it's really awesome how candid and open you are. It's really helped me, either helped me come to grips with what I'm going through or helped me to understand somebody else in my life and what they're going through. So I've continued I've decided to continue to do the podcast. And give me 1 second. I need to drink water. All right. Sorry. So I decided to continue to do the podcast and continue going strong. One thing that someone said to me is that they were glad to see that I wasn't playing a victim card or trying to be a victim, but rather a courageous man looking to change his life. And that meant a lot to me because that is what I'm trying to get across. Most people will tell you, okay, I got to stop generalizing. For me, and I believe in my head that most people will tell you that have the type of mental illnesses that I have, or maybe even some of the other ones that I don't have, will tell you that we don't want sympathy. Sympathy is not what we need, not what we're looking for, and it's what kind of keeps us from coming to help, because we believe that people think we're playing a victim, or we're looking for sympathy. I'm not looking to be a victim. I'm not looking for any pity or sympathy, though I'm sure there's lots of people who have it for me, a lot of people who feel it for me, but what I'm looking for is empathy, and there is a difference. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I just want you to know that my pain exists, that my struggle exists, and that I'm trying, and that you can feel it too. In one way or another, that you can feel it. And if you can't feel it, just say, it's hard to imagine, but I'm here for you, and I don't know what I can do, but I'm here for you for support. That to me is key when I'm this way. I also want to thank my co-host from Scout Team Radio, Loudbeard, for his support. When I approached him with the show, I didn't know if I wouldn't even know how he would feel about it. Like, we're good friends, we're close friends, obviously we do a show together, but we'd never really talked about this kind of stuff before. And so I approached him with it, and I got the answer that I did expect for him, and that was, yeah, man, go ahead and do it. Like, I'm here for you 100%. And my hesitation was more just the stigma and everything. But he was supportive, and I said, I can put it on a different channel. I can create my own podcast channel. He's like, no, keep it on this channel with us. It'll be a lot easier for you to do that. You don't have to create anything. You don't have to pay any more money than what we've already paid. And we're here for your support, man. You're part of Scout Team. This show is about you, so it's a part of Scout Team Radio and what we're doing. So put it on there and let people see both sides of you. Let them see this side of you and the entertaining, happy-go-lucky Chris side of you. And for those that have flipped over to the other show and listened and said they enjoyed hearing me having fun and having jokes and just showing a lot of my personality, thank you for doing that, first of all. And secondly, thank you for letting me know that you listened and that you were glad to see that I'm doing okay. Again, glad to see that I am a very generally happy guy. And the last 40 hours, from Friday, 4 o'clock to this morning, I've been doing really good. And I'm kind of disappointed I'm not doing quite good today, because I kind of wanted to have that turning the corner episode and I wanted to have that. I'm finally making it, and I am. But today, in my current mood, I am in my. I guess I hate using the word normal, but it's my normal depression. I'm having a normal depressed Sunday. Not what I'm going through depressed, what I've been going through recently, like the extreme side of depression. I'm going through what I've normally felt from time to time, or a lot of times, that I didn't identify as depression, that I didn't identify as I still have a problem. I'm just going through a mood where I didn't want to do the podcast today, but I knew I didn't have any other time. I got a 6-day work week coming up. I didn't know when I was going to have time to record this episode, and I wanted to get it out there. It's been swimming in my head for the entire week, really. And I also decided that I have to let you guys see this side of it. Like, this is the whole point of the show, so people can see and bear witness to what this looks like. So today, I woke up. Number one, I've been waking up every single day at 3:00, and what I have to do is I have to turn on my TV and put like The Office or something on Netflix and have it playing in the background so I can focus my mind on something else. Otherwise, I'll just lay there awake and think about everything that's gone on these last 4 weeks. And I can't do that to myself. It's torture. So I turn on some TV and then I slowly fall back asleep. And then it's just 3 to 4 hours of just going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep, waking up. It's a very, very restless sleep, but at least it's sleep. It's better than just sitting in my bed, growing more and more anxious and growing more and more depressed over everything that's gone on these last 4 weeks. So that happened to me today. I laid in bed, finally got up at about 7:40. By the way, today is Sunday, Easter Sunday, April 21st is when I'm recording this episode. So if you're listening to it, that's when this is happening. April 6th is when I had my last suicidal ideation where I sat at a table. You can listen to that in the first episode titled Episode 1. I was in a dark place. And then all the episodes, if you're on the Scout Team channel for iTunes or even Stitcher or Podbean or Spotify, just scroll through the Scout Team radio episodes. And all of this podcast episodes will be labeled with TBI, episode number, and then the title of the show. All of them except for episode 1. Episode 1 is just episode 1. I was in a dark place. Please go back and listen to all the episodes because I go over the stigma, I go over why I feel worthless, and I go over April 6th when I decided to commit suicide. But so it's Easter Sunday, and I finally get out of bed, and my mood is depressed. Now, part of the reason why it could be is that I had 2 beers last night. I went out with a friend to watch the boxing fights, and I drank 2 beers. I didn't pound them. I camped on them. It took me 2 hours to drink them. So I don't know if that has to do with it. The other thing, too, is Sundays. Sundays I always get up and I cook for my ex. It was one of my favorite things to do for her. I used to love getting up, cooking her breakfast, and having it ready for her when she gets out of bed. And then we'd sit at the couch and eat our breakfast together and watch TV. And I missed that. I missed it today a lot. And I'm going to talk a lot about the relationship today. No, I've been talking about how I'm not going to bring it up and that I'm not going to give details, that it's not about my relationship, it's about my mental health. But today I got to talk a lot about it. I'm not going to give specific details, but I'm just going to say how the last 4 weeks and how this relationship has affected my mental health. And it's why I'm here today. It's everything that's gone on in the last 4 weeks is what's been driving my madness and has been exacerbating my mental health issues of depression and anxiety. And so I got to cover it. I got to cover at least some of the things that affect me. And today's title episode is going to be acceptance. And not accepting things is what makes it worse. It's what makes, I have to accept that I can't cook breakfast for her anymore. And that sucks. And it depresses me. It's depressing me now. Just saying it out loud. Like before I was just bummed out. and I missed her. But now that I'm saying it out loud into the microphone, um, it sucks. So one thing I have to accept is I don't get to cook breakfast for her anymore. Oh God, I didn't think this episode was gonna go this way, but the second I said it out loud, it got my anxiety going. It got me going. But I'm gonna talk through it. I'm gonna power through it just like I did with my dad, because I need you guys to see it. Again, I'm gonna be so repetitive. The point of this podcast is for people who go through this to see somebody else going through it, and for those who aren't going through it to kind of understand. It's more than just a hashtag mental health awareness. It's more than just hashtag mental health. I hung out with a friend all day yesterday, and he was having a hard time when we're talking understanding the whole suicide thought process, and I had a hard time explaining it to him. But I mean, he was very empathetic. He wasn't judgmental. It wasn't like a dude, you're weird. It was just more like a I just for me, he said for me I just have a hard time wrapping my brain about it, which is it's understandable if you've never done it. It's just like, I don't know, if you've never done chemotherapy, you don't know what chemotherapy is about. It's kind of like that. You don't know what that's like. Oh, so yeah, the Sundays blues have been coming down on me hard. Easter doesn't make it easier because I miss my family. I miss my stepson. I miss little America. That whole unit being together, that whole family unit that we built and spent a lot of time building and a lot of time loving and spending a lot of time going through a lot of hardships trying to figure that out, that blended family out. And it wasn't a perfect family, but it was a really good family, guys. And I miss it. So that's part of the Sunday blues today. Last week was hard until Friday because all these things that I have hard time accepting, and Thursday was not a good day for me. Thursday was it just wasn't a good day. I let the anxiety get the best of me. I let my anger get the best of me. I didn't say or do anything that shouldn't have been said or done, but it was just rough. I'll leave it at that. And then Friday I had my therapy session at 9. And I was getting frustrated with that too because I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere with it. My patience is running out. It's been 4 weeks. I've felt depressed every single day. I've felt anxiety every single day. And I felt like I'm so tired of people asking me how I'm doing, and my answer is always, I'm doing okay, I guess, but I'm not. I get so tired and frustrated having to reach out to people every single day, telling them where I'm at. I'm just getting anxious thinking about it right now. I'm just frustrated. I'm just so tired of it. Like, the other person in this this thing is making it look so easy, and I'm making it look so bad, and it sucks. So Friday, I had a big time breakdown in my car, and I'm screaming at God, why is this happening? Why can't you make it stop? Please, all I want is just for this to stop. Please just give me peace. Please just give me hope. Like, just make this all end. I don't know how this ends, but just please make it end. I'm just ready to move on to the next part of my story. And I got a little bit of peace, and then I decided to go home and write myself a letter. And I'll read that letter at the end of the episode. And that brought me peace. And I was peaceful from 4:30 in the afternoon until this morning. Had a lot of peace. Yesterday, I went out with a buddy. We went sailing, a little small boat sailing on the lake. Winds were picking up really hard. And so like 5 to 10 minutes into when I took my turn to sail, it was the first time I've sailed in like 15, 17 years since I was a teenager. And I capsized the boat. I had a lot of fun with it. I lost my sunglasses. It's all right. They were only $10. And then we went for a hike on a trail. He's an avid bird watcher, so it was cool he had his little bird app, and he'd do like little bird calls with the bird app, and the birds would come closer to us looking for the sound. That was really cool. And then we went to the gym, got a little workout in. Then I went over to some other friend's house and had dinner with them. And then, like I said, I went out and watched the boxing matches. And I also went out with Loudbeard Friday night to watch the Magic lose, which, that sucks. But I'll talk more about that tomorrow on Scout Team Radio. Hopefully they win tonight. So that was my week. My whole week, I know I have to accept things. I know in order for me to get to the next step, I have to come to acceptance. But there's so many things I'm having a hard time to accept. One of my negative things about me is I never like being wrong, and I argue a lot. And I'm working on that. I've been working on that my entire life. I hate it about me. I don't like it about me, and I'm working on it. And so that kind of plays into this whole acceptance things, because I have a hard time accepting that things aren't going my way, and accepting that things didn't go the way that I thought they were, and accepting that other people hurt me, and accepting that I can't do anything about them hurting me. So here are some things that I jotted down that I'm having a hard time dealing with acceptance. And until I accept these things, I don't know that I'm ever going to turn the corner, but I'm working on it. One of the frustrating parts about my therapy session is I said, I just tell me how to get to this acceptance thing. Tell me how to accept it. Like, I'm telling you all my problems. I know that they're things I can't control, so tell me how to accept them. And her response was just, acceptance doesn't just click on. And I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't the answer I wanted to hear, to be honest with you. But, so, things I'm having a hard time accepting. I was hurt by somebody I trusted. Before this relationship, I built walls, and that was an unhealthy thing for me to do. I mentioned that I drank and that I would go hook up with girls. Another unhealthy thing that I would do is I would become bitter, and I would build walls, and I would become untrusting. And I knew I wanted another relationship, but I didn't want another relationship because I don't want to be here, guys. Like, I can't stress enough how much I don't want to be in this situation. I never wanted to be in this situation again. I wanted to live the rest of my life with somebody, and it to be just a relationship that I would look back 20, 30 years and say, man, we made it. We went through some hard times, but we never stopped loving each other. We never stopped caring, and we've always been here for each other. Like, that's what everybody wants, isn't it? And I didn't want to be here again. And now I am, and she knew that. Like, I let her know all the time, and maybe I should have just let go earlier. Maybe that was part of the problem, but I let go more and more each day, more and more each week, more and more each month, and I gotta tell you guys, eventually I got to a place where I believed it. I envisioned us being together forever. Like, this was my soulmate. I finally found her. And they're not. And they broke a lot of promises. Sorry, I'm trying not to go into too much details, but I'm not going to grow old with her. And she hurt me by not giving this a chance, by not fighting for this. And that rolls into the next thing that I'm having a hard time accepting. And that's, they're not doing anything to show that you matter or that they care that they hurt you. It sucks. It sucks that I'm going through this 4-week hell. And they're not. And that's a hard thing for me to accept. Because it makes me feel like the relationship wasn't real to them. And it's so real to me. And then it just leads to more of that worthlessness that I talk about in episode 3. And they matter to you still. And right now they're not showing you that you matter to them. And I'm 100% sure that's something that all of us can relate to. Anybody who's been through a breakup has been there before. Anybody who's had somebody leave them has been there before. And that leads into the next thing I'm having a hard time accepting. They probably never will show you that. I talked about how my dad never showed me that. How he died never giving me that epiphany. And this is just another person that is added to the list of people who don't think I matter enough to apologize and don't think I matter enough to say, I want to work this out. I want to fight for you. I don't even know if I would take that now, but even if it was just I want to be in your life because you matter to me, because we spent 3 years together. And this is where I get to my next part. Their actions reflect them, not me. All of what I just described reflects what they're going through, what their problems are, and the help that they need. And it doesn't reflect me as a person. It's hard, guys. It's hard to accept that, because for me anyways, if I mattered, it's the same thing with my dad. If I mattered, if they cared about me, and if I meant something to them, and if I had an impact on their lives, they would be here. They would be saying I'm sorry for the things that I did, and they would be, I don't know what they'd be doing. I just know I wouldn't be doing it. I don't know. You see my struggle with acceptance? I don't know how to do it. Like some people say, give her the old F you attitude, become indignant, become focus on yourself. And I want to focus on myself, guys. I desperately want to focus on myself. But when I care about somebody, man, I care about them really hard. And I care too much, I guess. I don't know if that's a thing. But right now my focus is dual. My focus is on her, and my focus is on me. And then my focus is on the things that I'm missing out on, like this morning. And this is why I get so high anxiety. This is why I get so depressed, because it just snowballs into this giant thing, and then I can't control it anymore. And then I'm left looking like an idiot in my car, shouting at the top of my lungs and crying my eyes out. Now I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting frustrated with myself, and I'm getting frustrated with the situation. I'm getting frustrated with them, and I don't even know if this episode's helping anybody right now. And so, but here's the biggest thing that I need to accept. It's over. The relationship you love so much is over. And it's probably, no, it's not ever going to come back. Your relationship with her is done. I have a hard time accepting that, guys. I know I need to accept it. I know I need to move on. I know I need to see it as like a blessing in disguise, or like I need to start focusing on the reasons why she came into my life, and that, you know, I got to start looking at the goods. I got to start looking at the bad. One of the goods is I've met a ton of people through her, and they've all been here to support me. And like the guy I hung out with yesterday, I met through her. You know, just, but it's over, and I don't want it to be. I mean, I do, and I don't. I don't know. I just know that it's over, and this is not what I envisioned. I had mentioned before, I envisioned us growing old together. We had some hard times, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I was not perfect. My mental illness caused a lot of strain on the relationship. And I'm not going to go as far as to say that she has something or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but there were a lot of things that she had going on that put a lot of strain on our relationship. But damn it, we loved each other, and we apologized to each other, and I feel like our only biggest mistake was not getting help, and not getting help for ourselves, and not getting help for our marriage, and our relationship, and just I just have a hard time giving up on hope. I'm a hopeless romantic, guys. Part of me still fantasizes about a story where she comes back and apologizes, and and then I start envisioning this story about how her and I go get help, and then we become a beacon of light to other couples that you go through the darkest pits of hell in your relationship, and then your love and your care for each other somehow is that light that brings you out. And I have to stop thinking about this stuff, and that starts when I accept that it's over. It is over. And it's hard when you miss them, and it's hard when you miss her son, and it's hard when you miss the good times of the relationship. And I have no answers right now, guys. I guess I just got to do that whole time heals all wounds thing. I mean, I'm doing a lot better now today than I was last week and the week before that, and obviously on April 6th, but it's also frustrating that I'm still here, that I'm still talking about these things, that I'm still having a hard time accepting them. And I don't know what to do. I mean, I wrote a letter to myself, and it helped a lot. I wrote a letter to myself because I needed to get over my worthlessness, or not get over it, but help with it. One of my biggest problems with worthlessness is there's a Bible verse that says, "Don't toot your own horn, let others, praise you," and everything else. And I try to live my life by that. I hate talking good about myself. Sometimes I don't even feel comfortable when people talk good about me. It's part of that worthlessness battle. And so coming on the air and talking good about myself makes me extremely uncomfortable. But I wrote this letter. To myself. And I don't know if this will work for you, but it worked for me at the time. And I've read it the last 2 mornings, and it's helped a little bit. I might have to write another letter to myself to kind of help me get out of this little funk, because I'm still in it. But I have the creative mind to where I can sort of imagine myself disconnected. And this letter to myself was like giving myself the advice that I would give to somebody else if I was talking to them. And it was kind of cool because as I'm giving advice to myself, I'm able to read my mind. Like if I was giving you advice and I was able to read your mind, read your thoughts, read your feelings, read everything that you have going on, and then I was able to kind of speak to that and say all the things that you needed to hear and everything else. So without further ado, here is the letter that I wrote to myself. Dear Chris, how's it going, man? I know the last 4 weeks have been extremely hard. I know you feel like giving up completely from time to time. I know you've been made to feel you're not worth it, that you aren't worth fighting for. I know you feel as though you don't deserve to be loved. You gave this relationship everything you had. You gave her all of your heart. You trusted all of her promises. She said she would never leave you, and now she's gone. I know you're hurting. I know you're confused, and you can't understand why. She was there, and now she's gone. Almost a stranger. Someone you don't recognize. It's okay for you to hurt. It's okay for you to feel angry. It's okay for you to feel betrayed. It's okay to scream at the top of your lungs, "What to God? Why is this happening to me? Why does this story have to end like this? Why can't I just heal?" But you are healing. You are getting better. I know it's not at the pace you want. I get that. It's frustrating. I also know you miss her. You love her. You feel sadness for her. I know you want to help her, take care of her and be there for her. I know you want her to be there for you. You're going through hell right now, and the person you leaned on for emotional and spiritual support is gone. Sorry, let me reread that again. You're going through hell right now, and the person you leaned on for emotional and spiritual support is gone. She's right there, yet a million miles away. And I get that leads you to more frustration, more anger, more pain, and more feelings of worthlessness. I know you're mad that you'd be there the second she asked, and you're not getting the same. Look, I really don't know why this is happening to you. I don't know why she's making the choices she's made. And I know those decisions have shattered your life. And I know those decisions have shattered a life you have enjoyed. But I promise you that is not your fault. This is not reflective on you. You are a really good guy. You did everything you could to show her how much you love her and care for her and support her. You weren't perfect by any stretch of the imaginations. You made a lot of mistakes and you didn't get the help you needed. But don't live in those regrets. It's over and done, and you have no power to change the past. Take stock of them, your mistakes, and let's fix them. Let's battle this depression that's been holding you back for your entire life. You are a great guy. You have a huge heart. You care for people. Those you know, and those you don't know. You care for people. Those you know and those you don't know. You are empathetic towards others. You're compassionate and forgiving. You look beyond people's flaws and you see the beauty and goodness inside of them. You love as unconditionally as you can and do everything in your power to make it genuine. You try to put other people's needs over your own. You look for ways to make them happy, make them feel special, make them feel important. You go above and beyond to support them. You give everything you can to share their interest. You are a great guy. Nothing that has happened in the last 4 weeks can change that. Other people see it. Listen to them. Listen to me. You are worth it. You have the most courageous drive I've ever seen. So many times these last 4 weeks, you wanted to give up on healing the healthy way and turn to those things that mask the pain. You have pushed so hard to do this the healthy way. It hasn't been perfect, but you have fought hard. You should be proud. Other people are proud of you. Listen to them. You've handled everything that's been thrown at you way better than what is expected. Again, not perfect, but you should admire the way you've handled this. Others admire you. Listen to them. You are a great father. Again, I know you feel you failed in a lot of ways. I know your depression and other things kept you from getting to action sooner when his grades were suffering, but you're taking the steps you need to be better so that you can always take care of Landon. Little America has a dad who loves him with a big heart. He admires you. You are his hero, and he loves you. And he loves you the way that you are. You are a perfect role model, a dad who loves and cares for him. Finally, continue doing this podcast. You need this, and other people need this. You're going to impact lives in ways you can't imagine. The world needs you. Your son needs you. Your family needs you. Your friends need you. And more importantly, you need you. You got this. Love you. Let me tell you something, guys, that picked me up a lot. Again, it's what I needed to hear. And so that's what I'm working on now is acceptance. Normally I try to have like my epiphany, my moment of truth. But I'm not here yet. I'm still a work in progress. And I really hope the next episode, which I don't know when that's going to be because I got to work the next 6 days. We'll see if I have time to record at night. So I don't know. I'm going to continue the day, try to do things that make me happy and try to get over this Sunday blues. Try to fight through it. I don't know what to do. Anyways, let me go back to my notes because I'm kind of just at a loss at what to say now. Yeah, so as I'm talking about these Sunday blues, and this is kind of like normal for me, even when I'm not going through this heart-aching breakup, split up, divorce, losing my family, that kind of stuff. A lot of people have reached out to me to tell me that that they don't go through the extreme that I go through, but they do have depression and they do have anxiety. Let me give you a bit of advice to everybody who sent me that, and to those who have listened and said, like, yeah, Chris is suicidal and I'm not suicidal, so I don't need help. And I've always given advice on how to get help if you are suicidal, and I'll do that again at the end of this episode. But don't wait. That's what I did, and look at me. I'm a mess. I should have gotten help a long time ago. There are so many signs and red flags that I've seen. There would be times where my future ex or my now ex would say, Chris, sometimes I just feel like you're not happy or that things aren't good enough. And that should have been a red flag to me. I should have seen that as depression. I should have seen that. There was times when my anxiety would get the best of me, and, you know, it wouldn't be a pretty scene. It was toxic. And I should have gotten help then. We should have gotten help. We should have gone to counseling. And that's another thing I want to say. Like, you don't have to wait for things to get to the edge to work on your marriage or work on your relationship. We all need help, guys. This life is hard. Nobody gives you instructions. And if you are like me and you didn't have a dad and anything like that, or you didn't really, like, nobody really has the way on life. So, especially with this mental illness thing, it's all so new. We're all becoming so newly aware, and it's becoming more and more of a thing, but still so many of us don't know. And so I kind of hate when people say, I'm not at your extreme yet, but I do go through this and I do go for that. And I've told a couple of people, like, I'd go get that checked out. I'd at least go talk to a therapist and say, what can I do? Is there anything that I can do? Or am I just having just normal blah moods? Is this normal for me to have this way? So I guess, sorry, I'm trying so hard to get to a happy place right now. I'm just kind of bummed. God, depression sucks. Again, I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, just get over it. Get over it, Chris. Like, I'm so frustrated. I'm so frustrated that I'm still here. Especially with how good my weekend went, and I'm back here again, and it's just frustrating. I want to get over it. I want it to get out of my head. All right. So I'm just going to end the episode now and see if I can go do something else. But I do want to say, if you are at that extreme that I've been at, where you're suicidal, you're super anxious, you're having ideations, you're having bad thoughts. When I first released my first episode, my brother sent me a song by a band named OTEP. And I think you should look this up. It's called Perfectly Flawed by OTEP. And there's two parts of the song that really stick out to me if you're thinking about suicide. I'll read the first part of it, and then I'll read the last part of it. If you do this, you'll never have a chance to try again. If you do this, you'll never have a chance to try. It's the same sound, same sting, the same collapse of everything. It's the same slice, same blade, the same lie, the same old vein. And then it goes into the chorus, and it talks about how you're perfectly flawed, you're perfectly incomplete, like cracks in the glass and faded photographs. You're perfectly flawed, you're perfectly incomplete. Let them condemn. Imperfections will make you unique. And then if you're still sitting there right now thinking about committing suicide, this is another line that came out to me that really struck close to home. And it's, don't you do it. You're not even you yet. Don't you do it. You're not even you yet. Don't do it. Give yourself some time. Reach out for help. You're not yourself right now. You know you're not yourself right now. You've made it through other ones. You can make it through this one. And if this is your first time, make it through this one and get help. If it's your 15th, 100th time, make it through this time and get help. We're all here to help you. If you want to know where you can get help, you can go to suicidepreventionlifeline.org. That's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. They have ways that you can chat with people there, or you can call them 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-8255. You can also text crisis text line at 7. You can text home at 741-741 home. That's 741-741. Or you can go to suicide.org if you're international, and they give you a whole list of each country's suicide hotlines and websites and things of that sort. So reach out and get help. Or you can reach out to me. Again, I say this every episode. I need to write it down. I am not a doctor. I'm not an expert. I'm not a mental health therapist. I'm nothing. I'm just a guy. I'm a Jack. Just another guy. But I can listen. I'm pretty good at listening. You can message me, Battle Inside Pod, or you can message me on my Twitter account, which is @the Chris America. Or if you have my phone number and you have my Facebook account, you can message me there. I can't do anything for you, but I can listen. And I can tell you right now, people listening to me these last 4 weeks has helped me tenfold. I saw a post today, and I had to thank my friends and family on Facebook. Let me see if I can pull it up. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. It was right here. Here we go. Nope, that's not it either. All right, I'll just go to my Facebook page. Sorry. Should have been ready. Should have been prepared, guys. I apologize. And then now you got to hear me talk about it. All right. It says, never give up on somebody with mental illness. When I is replaced with we, illness becomes wellness. And I like that. So I'm here for you. I can listen. Other people are there for you. Trust me. I've always gone through these in silence, thinking that nobody cared about me. Now that I'm going through it out loud, and I'm doing this podcast, and I'm talking to people and reaching out, I realize I have so many people that love me. If I were to actually go through with suicide, my church would be packed with a whole bunch of crying people, and that gives me hope. That lets me know that I shouldn't do that and commit suicide. So without further ado, I'm going to end the show. I thanked Loudbeard for my support. I forgot to thank 12 Ounce Sports Radio. They've been putting my show on there. Even though it's a sports station, they've put this show on there. And I appreciate that support. I appreciate all of your support. Please, if this show impacts you, please share it with your friends. Share it with your family members. Share it on your Facebook feed. Share it on your Twitter. Please just share it. This has impacted me. It's impacted other people. So if it's impacted you, just share this episode. Or share this show. Let them know where to find it, how they can find it. Send them links to the episodes, and I would really, really appreciate that. So, hopefully you guys had a good Easter. Hopefully you guys have a good week. And I'm going to work hard on having a good week myself. Work hard on accepting these things. I am fighting and pushing through. I'm doing whatever I can to get better, because I need to get better. Everyone needs me to be better, and I need me to be better. I need to be better, and I want to be better. So, sorry, I'm trying to pull up my music while I'm rambling on. It's not working the way that I want it to, but have a good week, guys. I appreciate the support. You're not alone. I'm here for you. Other people are there, too. Believe me, they're there. You just got to let them know. All right, peace.